who it is. This is a brotherhood. And if we stand strong together, we can't be denied. If one of us goes down, we have another, and another, and another that's ready to fight. So let's hit this field and bang them, bang them, bang them. Somebody, light me up.
It's time to huddle up. It's the Turf District Podcast. Welcome back to the Turf District, where we huddle up to talk all things Edmonton Elks and the CFL. And we are a proud member of the Canadian Football Podcast Network. I'm Andrew, and thank you for joining us, whether you've downloaded the podcast or you're possibly joining us live on Twitter, Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, because Twitter doesn't allow that anymore because, right. If you're watching with us live, make sure you add your comments and questions in so that we can get through them throughout the show. We've got a few things to talk about tonight, but we always love having your questions to get our answers into as well. So make sure you throw them in there. Of course, the other way you might be listening to us is on Edmonton Sports Talk Radio. And if you've done that, thank you for taking some time out of your day to spend it with us. First, let's bring in the regular gang, starting with one super fan, Mike. Beautiful.
Happy post Grace Cup, eh?
Post Grace Cup?
Yep.
It's still, the effect is still there, I can tell.
Clearly, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
how much sluice juice did you have this evening? Yeah.
I had no sluice juice this season.
Oh.
Well, I had a tailgate, but obviously not. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Tonight I've decided a blueberry ale is good.
Very nice.
It's trying to continue on with, I've learned pacing. I learned that at Grey Cup this year.
Excellent. I've got some old smoky apple pie moonshine mixed in with some good stuff. Yeah, it's very tasty.
Wow, look at you. All right. Let's find out what our sister's drinking. There she is. It's Commissioner Kayla. How are you?
Oh, this Malbec. It's a Felino. It's called Felino. It is delicious. Not quite as good as the one we had, Andrew, the Spanish wine.
Oh,
which I can't find. BT Dubs, it's not on Liquor Connect.
Really?
Tragic.
Find it, because that was a good one. Although I will say that I did find same kind of wine, the Roija, I think is how you say it. And I got one of those, and Tyler and I polished that off last Friday night. It was really good. Yeah.
All right. Send me a link.
I will send it over. Has anybody recovered from the Grey Cup? Yes.
Please.
Oh yeah. Had a little bit of the post GC flu.
Oh, did you? No.
Nothing too bad. No, pretty minor. Everyone else in the family had it while we were there.
Oh,
great. I managed to avoid most of it. So,
Oh, geez.
Did I mention the moonshine? So,
you did mention the You did mention the moonshine.
It's got medicinal purposes, I'm telling you.
That's right. That's what it's all about. Yeah. Before we forget and go too far, let's plug our store, shall we? Zazzle.ca/store/turf_district_shop. Go there, make your order, get it before Christmas. Wonderful Christmas gifts. Many more things to come. Exciting.
Let's go Canada Post.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That does. Maybe that makes it a little harder. I think they do it by Pure Later or something.
Perfect.
So okay. Yeah, you should get. Yeah, just pick the fast one. You'll get it right away.
Excellent.
All right. Well, before we get into what is going on with the team, I just want to send out some thoughts to Mama Sauls, because the case did come to a close, and a verdict of second-degree murder handed down. Which of course took our very good friend Christian from us. And so we're all thinking of you, Mama Sauls. And I hope that, although I know it will never bring closure, I hope it helps with a bit of justice for you and your family. So
but it's the healing can start.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And it's part of that process. And so I was very happy to see that. And that I feel like there's a little a little vindication there, I guess, on something that is awful that never should have happened, and all of our thoughts with all of that family. So,
and you are still invited back. We
absolutely,
would love
please
to have you and
encouraged
see you
back.
Mama.
Yeah.
Yes, please come back. We would love to have you. Yes. So, there's always a spot at the tailgate for
Always.
Mama Salt. Yeah. Now, we do have some big news to talk about before we talk about our Grey Cup experience.
Where's my black veil? Oh.
That wasn't the news that I meant, but
it's the only news that matters.
It's okay. Well, let's talk about that for a second.
No, it's fine. It is what it is. It's tragic. I'm delirious.
Yeah. Adams traded to the Calgary Stampeders.
We knew, maybe that means we need a backup. Maybe we'll get Holy Mazzoli here.
I have heard, yes, that is a theory, and that would help my wee heart heal.
Right?
Exponentially.
We'll get to see him at least twice, maybe 3 times.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
maybe a preseason visit.
Maybe this means because Meyer will be free, so maybe he'd want to come up here as the backup. Maybe that's what.
No,
I'm kidding. That was a joke. That was actually.
What is wrong with you? I mean, it's possible, but that's not.
Yeah. Please
Today's
don't.
not the day to trifle with me.
All right. Well. Okay. The one that the news I was talking about was.
Shut your gross mouth, Christopher.
What?
Absolutely not.
I got a Christopher out of it. Wow, that's a
shame on you.
That was something else. Okay.
Yeah.
What I did mean about the big news is, of course, welcoming back Ed Hervey as the GM of the Double E. So, I know we all got a chance to talk to Ed during the season when Hamilton was here, which was great. And we had already talked about how that was a great experience. But give me your opening thoughts about what you think about the return. We'll start with you, Kayla.
I think it's the same thing with Chris. Words are great. The interview was great, or the presser was great.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's all about the action in this time. We've said it 1,000 times, like we've heard this all before. We do know that Ed Hervey kind of encapsulates everything that was the Eskimo way. And he is a true believer in what was and sounds like what is. So amalgamating the new and the old, I think, is going to be very essential, at least for me as a fan. Because there are certain things that we need to get back to, but there are certain things that we don't. So I'm optimistic, and I love Ed. We all do. We all do. It has nothing to do with him as a person. It's just building something that I guess works, first of all. And I mean, how many times do we have to go through this? And is this the time that it actually pans out and works? It has yet to be seen, but I'm optimistic. I mean, cautiously optimistic. How can you not be after that fiery speech? Oh my goodness. And that suit fly. He's so fly. But
wow. I hope that goes up on the bulletin board at the Elks office. He's so fly.
Yeah. It's so fly.
Yeah. But initially it was a great presser. I loved his spirit, and it looked like he really wanted this to be back here and that this was home for him. So yes, welcome back, Ed. And I hope you love us enough to keep allowing us to do our thing.
It did sound in the presser.
It did.
He was pretty open. So I'm gonna be happy with that. So Mike, your thoughts?
I definitely enjoyed the press conference and seeing a different side of Ed than I think we've seen before. He seemed certainly like, when you have Ed Hervey, you know what you're going to get. Yeah. You know he's going to always have that sort of fire burning inside him. He is never going to be a pushover. He is always going to do what he believes is right. But it seemed like, versus when he was here 2013. Well, he was here before, but as a GM, 2013 to end of 16, beginning of 17. He seemed to, I don't want to say mellowed, but he seems to have a bit more
control.
Yeah, maybe control or a mellower attitude, where he was able to sort of joke around.
Yeah,
asking when you're going to have that next head coach, and he said sometime before the season. Whereas, and what I liked, especially what got me more than anything else, because it's what I was sort of trepidatious about, was that he seems to really understand now versus the actions he had before that every member of this team is a member of the marketing team. Your job is not just to go out there and find players and do your director of player personnel and your football operations, but your job is to engage with fans. It is to get people in those seats and understanding that just putting a winning team on the field isn't enough. If you look at, which is an ironic thing to say, given what was said previously by previous administration 7 8 years ago.
Yeah.
But it's not. Like, you have to win, but you also have to engage with people, and the Monday Morning Magic is a key thing to Edmonton and Edmontonians. It is something that we are very proud of, that the Oilers and the Elks do year after year. Getting the team out for the national anthem is important to the fans. I don't care if you're away or you're at home. That's the kind of thing that is part of the EE way, whether you're going to go with the old name or the new name or whatever. Talking to Larry Thompson, the EE is the focus. It is now the EE way. And we've had several people on here, especially former alumni, that when we asked them to define it, said doing everything the right way. And that includes all of those things I talked about. And I think Ed really gets that. But also going on things I was excited about when he was here the first time is, I know there are just certain ways he likes to build a team. And we've talked about it a lot before. He loves to build from the lines outward, knowing that if you can get a lot of push from that defensive line, it's going to make your defensive backs that much better, because now the quarterback doesn't have as much time to pick apart that secondary. And the offensive line, the more time you can give your quarterback, the better he's going to be, the better your receivers are going to be, etc. So I love that. And let's be honest, if I said names like Darrell Walker, Bryant Mitchell, Brandon Zylstra, Duke Williams, these are all receivers were found under Ed Hervey's watch here. And we got them all on an entry-level contract, which allowed us to put that money elsewhere on the team and build some of the best teams we've had. So I'm excited to see what he's going to bring to the team here. I'm excited to see who he's going to bring in as his staff under him. And I certainly hope that we are looking years from now, looking back at this moment and saying, this is when the team really turned around and became the team we all remembered and loved.
Wow. Well done, Superfan. Jeez, did you practice that before?
No, but I've had a lot of time to think about it, because I was
like,
last episode.
You went in front of the mirror today and just like, let me give my speech.
That was amazing.
The fact that you brought up Bryant Mitchell.
Oh yeah. Come on.
Well, and even on the other side of the ball, when you think of John Ojo,
with defense, I'm never sure if that. Chris Jones was very involved in it, and being a defensive guy, I'm sure he brought a lot of those defensive guys. But when you're talking receivers, you know Ed Hervey. Those are Ed Hervey guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And he went and made deals that made things happen for Michael Riley, for Odell Willis, for famously for Odell Willis, which now we have when we have the Ed Hervey window, we have Ed Hervey to do it. It's great. I'm excited. Yeah. I think, and you touched on this a little bit already, Mike, but the presser, before, when Ed was here, he was very, this is how much I'm going to tell you.
No nonsense. Yeah.
This is it. Oh, that's it. But I think the presser, there is a human side. We have seen that before, but there was also an emotional side when he talked about his mom.
Yeah.
And something that like I wasn't aware of. I knew he was very close with his mom, but I didn't know that she had passed and all these other things.
Right.
So
He's very private. Yeah.
and he is private, but that's some real emotion and
human side,
humanity to
Yeah.
put to Ed Hervey, which not many people get to see. And so I was a little surprised when he did that, but also pleasantly surprised because in our conversations with him, he has had a bit of that human side, and it's nice to see that coming through. And the other part that I really liked was that there's obvious good, no, obvious synergy between Ed and Chris. And so there isn't that immediate power struggle, which is what the problem was the last time, right?
Sure.
So so that made me very happy. And of course, if anybody has watched it, you know that it makes me happy when Ed says, when I was here the first time, like, I've done a lot of growing up. So you guys want the locker room? You got it. You want this? Like, you want me whenever you tell me. Like, he's like you said, he's learned that step, and that's maturity as a GM
and wisdom, right?
Yeah, exactly. Has been in the game long enough to know. So that makes me very happy. So we will talk in a little bit about his first move that is coming up and who may be on available or who may be joining the team. Of course, as the head coach, et cetera, et cetera. It's not this guy. No, Ed Hervey would never hire me because he's smart. Yeah, exactly. You need somebody to be like a daytime, like, cheerleader. I guess that would be me, because I sure enjoy, talking to the guys and making them happy.
Go shake those pom-poms.
Go do those things. Let me shoot the jugs machine. That's right. Can't wait. Yep. All about the jugs, man. I'm there. I'm good. All right. So excited to have Ed Hervey back, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to get him on the show as he's a little he's a little busy right now, but at some point get him on to talk to us about his experiences over this last while and what his vision is over this next while. So, all right, let's get to actually, Mike, is there any fan questions on the Ed Hervey spot that we may tackle at this moment, other than, who is he bringing in as head coach? Because we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a few things in there. Some questions we'll save till later, but Chris Agar, I'm hoping for Hervey to show similar progress and growth to what Machocha showed when he took over the Als. Obviously, Danny Machocha has had a lot of success since becoming the GM of the Montreal Alouettes, and of course, even before that, with the Montreal Carabins football team. Obviously, beating Laval, one of the few teams to beat Laval for the Vanier Cup. So, we can only hope for that kind of success.
Absolutely. Yeah. Bring the band back together.
Yep, absolutely. And from our friend Sir Hugo on the island, question, is Giroy remaining as an assistant GM? And I know that we had talked about this in some chats with our friend Paul. That would be a hell of a combo if we could make that work. But the question is, can we make that work? Or do they want to?
And I wonder if Giroy, I mean, there's not going to be many others. I'm assuming that he would try to throw his name into the hat for the Hamilton job that just opened. But I don't know if there's many other spots, and I would love it if Giroy would stay, but obviously him and Ed have to have the same vision on how this team is built.
Yep.
Yeah.
And division of duties and everything else.
Absolutely. So that's especially because Ed is not a GM and head coach, right? He's just the GM. So at it'll tough to say. Although when you look at the team that's had the most success recently in the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, they have, Kyle Walters as the GM, and they have Danny McManus and at least for now, Ted Covea as the assistant GMs. So they find a way to make that work. So is that something that Ed wants in this new scenario? I'm not sure. But I do love Giroy. So, and had a great chat with him at Grey Cup too. So
awesome.
Yeah, I'll get into that in a moment. But I hope he stays. I just don't know if they can make the dynamic work.
Yep. And of course, first of all, Janelle says they can hire me as a defensive line coach. I mean, that seems fair.
That seems,
I don't know
if bang on.
I don't know if team nutritionist is in there, but
Yeah. That would be good. Yeah. Empress of the oven. By the way, happy birthday, Janelle.
Yes,
Happy
I was just going to say,
Hey.
everyone wish a happy birthday to Janelle from Leanne and Chris. Happy birthday, one of the few that will keep me in line.
So true. She keeps all of us in line. Mostly.
It's true.
Yeah, unless she's super tailgatey, then you never know. But yes, happy birthday.
Yeah. Oh, and Chris mentioned about G-Roy at the presser. Dave and Morley said G-Roy is out.
Oh, okay. So
But things can change.
Yep. Yeah, you don't know. Don't know. Should be. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out for sure. So, all right. Is that all the questions they had for this moment?
I think that is everything for certainly related to that. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, then let's get into our Grey Cup experiences because
the Grey Cup.
It was a great time. One of the better Grey Cups that I've been to. I thought it was organized really well.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of things. But Mike, I want to start with you, being that you had the family experience for the first time. So how was it?
I thought it was awesome. It was a very different experiences than I'm used to. It was very nice waking up not hungover. So that was kind of fun. But it was great seeing it through my 12-year-old's eyes, seeing all the different fun things at Grey Cup. He had a ball at some of the things downtown. But I think some of my favorite parts where we went to the CFLPA headquarters.
Yeah.
At the pub there just off the water, and he got to sit and meet a lot of the players. And when he was there, he was the only one under the age of 19.
Yeah.
So a lot of the players gravitated towards him. Some of the people that really stood out to me, Lucius Perifoy, who is one of Thomas's favorites. Thomas wants to be a defensive back end returner. So, I mean, what better inspiration than everyone's favorite Pennywise? Lucius came over and was talking to Thomas and saying things like, wanted to know what he was doing in football. And when Thomas told him, he says, well, maybe, tell me when the games are. I'll come see you. So that was just absolutely outstanding. Another standout, Reggie Beggleton. Reggie came over and started talking to him. Nathan Rourke spent 15, 20 minutes talking to Thomas and I.
Wow.
Just
awesome.
Again, you see these kids here, Stavros Katsantonis, another guy, again, coming over just unprompted to talk to a 12-year-old kid who was there soaking it all in and having the time of his life. So Thomas had a great time, so I had a fantastic time. And of course, it was great seeing everybody. Obviously, seeing you two, seeing a lot of the family I haven't seen in several years. I got to meet a few people I'd never met in person before, but I've been talking to forever on social media, like the last decade or so. So pretty special time. And like I said, we got to go to the game, had a great time. I mean, who doesn't love the Jonas Brothers?
Right?
So
it was
there you
fun.
go.
It was fun. Yeah.
It was fun. I couldn't have named a single song they did, but they did it well, whatever it was.
If it makes you feel better, I think I knew 3.
Well,
So-
I think I knew 4 just because. Yeah,
that's 7 more than me. So
okay.
There you go. But that's my demographic, right? So to make you feel better, I didn't even know everything.
I didn't leave. I sat and watched the whole thing. Had a great time.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I know that was one thing that Tyler had said when in the week after. He's like, yeah, the only bad part is I still haven't met Mike face to face.
You said that?
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Tyler. And I'm like, oh crap, we never got around to doing that. But
he was hiding.
I know he got to meet
Tyler.
you, Kayla, so yeah, quit. Exactly. But
I can assure you he is a sweetheart.
Well, yeah, I could tell you that too. Yeah, he's a good dude.
Well, but you've known him for so long as an outsider perspective.
Okay, good. Excellent.
Yes.
I'm glad you thought so.
I did.
Okay, tell me about your experience. I do want to talk about the game a little bit too, but we'll wait till we talk about our experiences. So what did you think there, Commish?
So
Other than spending way too much time with me, which I understand. Then that's
you
fine.
know, we really didn't though. Like
That's
in the
fair.
grand
Yeah.
scheme of things, we actually didn't. But yeah, it was fun. We meshed well. We meshed well. Let's
Yes,
just
we
put
did.
this. Yes.
We did.
So a couple of things right off the bat. My own fault. My expectations were too high coming off of Hamilton. So Hamilton still reigns supreme in my eyes because I just had a blast every single minute of every single day. However, it's Vancouver, beautiful city. Who doesn't love being right on the ocean? Oh my gosh, the sushi that we had just from City Market was so freaking good, and it was $5.
It was very good. Absolutely.
I had it 3 times? I can't remember. Anyway,
Yeah, I had it twice anyway. Yeah.
so good.
sushi.
And the fact that I think it was on the Wednesday or Thursday, Andrew, I can't remember, when we went to the headquarters, and all of the kids that were there for it looked like a school field trip. Bunch
Oh,
of
that
school
was
field trips.
Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a Thursday.
What a way to market.
Mhm.
And they were all wearing BC Lions. Well, not all. A lot of them were wearing BC Lions t-shirts. What an effective way to get kids involved into the CFL. I was a little hesitant because there were so many kids. So I was like, as long as I was like at my distance and like they didn't swarm me, I was okay. But I just thought that was so great. It was so great. And there were so many activities. I didn't go back there. I didn't dare. I was too scared.
Oh,
But
you're doing fine.
it
Yeah,
looked like it
good.
was a ball. So congratulations to the city of Vancouver and the BC Lions for putting that together. It was great. The one thing that they did adjust, but was a little bit annoying, was the security going into the convention center. It was a little rough for the first day, but after that, Thursday, but Friday, Saturday, it looked like they're just letting everybody in anyway. I mean, we're CFLers. If someone's gonna blow up the building, we're just gonna be like, "Hey, sociable, like whatever." At least we're going down in fashion.
That's right. Yeah. That's fair.
But yeah, like overall, it was a great time. I mean, a lot of inside jokes were made. Call names were created.
That's right.
I shout out to Jake Sperling. Saturday night was by far the best night. We had a ball. We hit every single team party, closed out at Spirit. It was such a great time. And shout out to the Grey Cup Fun Police for making sure I got home safely. They brought me home safely on Saturday night.
Good
too.
boys.
I was going home. I was alone. I was going to pick up my jacket. I was like, yeah, fine. Don't worry about me. And then I was going towards the escalators to leave, and Jeff was standing there. He's like, no, you're coming with us. I was like, thank you, gentlemen. That is very, very kind. But overall, it was a great time. We bonded, Andrew. We had a wonderful dinner on Friday. It was it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And shout out to everyone I hung out with. Shout out to my pitch and putt buds. Golf was fun. Yeah, there's so many good memories set. Shout out to Chris for having brunch with me on Thursday. So great. It was so great.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, and I have the same very similar experiences. The hanging out at the CFLPA, and let me start with the meet and greet, because that was
Yes.
fun on the Wednesday night. It was great to see
Mhm.
everybody. Kind of get the three of us kind of together for a bit, and listen to well, even before we left, because we met at the airport and had breakfast with Linda, and we were already having beers, and she was telling us about all the beers. Okay, so
I love it.
we're
So
working
smart.
on a segment for next season that is going to be tailgate beers with Linda or something like that, and she'll
Nice.
tell us about
Yes.
her beer, and this is what you should try if you like this. And because I just think like she's so brilliant, and the laughs are
So
just
great.
we just couldn't stop laughing, so it was great for
Great
that.
taste beer too. She has
Oh,
great
very.
taste beer.
Yeah,
Oh,
very.
And who
she
doesn't love Linda?
of course, yeah.
Actually,
she's amazing.
today, 90 years ago today, her dad played in the Grey Cup.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
cool.
Ah,
Lost
cool.
to Sarnia. But
Sarnia. Wow.
Yes.
Okay. That's there's
that doesn't happen often.
yeah, no, not really. But you know what? that was great. The meet and greet was great. It was a good night. That was when we first had the sushi, which was also great. And then, I'll double down on the great sushi.
We
A beer boozy cupcake. Oh, if it's possible,
Ooh.
I'm in. Yeah.
What about like a cider?
Oh, Mike's eyes just lit up.
It's a boozy cupcake. You
Yeah,
can make it with
yeah.
anything.
It can be
Yeah,
about
we
it.
sushied out. We got some sushi stupid for a bit too. So
Did you? Yes. So Thursday, going to Mahoney's there and just getting a chance to kind of sit and chat with Luchez and Nick Anderson. Right before he, of course, wins the Rookie of the Year, and congrats to
Yes.
Nick on that. And we're sitting at the table, and I'm like, "Well, you're gonna win, right?" He's like, "Man." He's so humble
Yeah.
and just a sweet guy. And then
And that suit.
he
yeah.
came, because he
Whoa.
came to Spirit of Edmonton
Straight
after
fire.
he won, and I just went over. I'm like, "I told you." He's like, "Yeah, you did." So it was a nice connection with them. Got our football cards, which was fun, and Kayla, and it was just a good hangout. But then, Mike, your family, and Paul and Jana and myself, and all the friends from out
Montreal.
east and
Yeah.
and from the
Ottawa.
island went for an amazing meal with sushi and
Shabusen.
Chokio barbecue. Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Shabusen. Yeah, it's just not Tokyo, but yeah, barbecue.
Barbecue. Oh man, it was so good. And that was tasty. And then, of course, back to Spirit, and lots of fun there. Now, for just a minute though, I'm gonna put on my I've turned old glasses and say, Spirit of Edmonton, I love you. You can turn the volume down just a smidge. Like,
Old man yells at clouds.
oh my God. Like, I was having such a hard time hearing anybody and trying to have a conversation. And
Oh.
I just thought it was funny, but I'm like, man, is it ever loud in here? Like, I can't hear the person right in front of me. And it was so that it made Friday interesting, because on Friday I was helping to host the tweet up and do some of the announcing, and my voice was raspy because I had to be doing all the yelling on the Thursday night. So yeah, exactly. I appreciate that, Tim. Yeah, what? Exactly. So the Friday though with the state of the league was good. Last one,
good.
of course, with Randy, and I thought he did a great job.
Absolutely.
The alumni lunch, Mike, was really good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was upset they didn't have the silent auction, because that's always cool to see some of the stuff they have there. But they weren't able to get. Yeah, but they didn't have the silent auction part, and they weren't able to do that this time. So, but you see all these legends, like, amazing. It's very cool. Went right from there to the tweet up, and which was a great time, and had a lot of fun. Was able to give away lots of door prizes. That was awesome. And the pipe band right in the bar was cool. But then as that wound down, that's when I went to Kayla. And so again, I go to Kayla. I'm like, I just need to find somewhere that's quieter that I can eat. She's like,
such a great suggestion.
It was. And we found an incredible place called Open Outcry, and it was a great meal.
Nice.
So tasty. And then that was the night that we went back, and is that the night that we met with the Grey Cup Fun Police, or was that the next?
The jacuzzi?
No, because in the jacuzzi. No, I think that was Friday.
That was Saturday before the
was
party.
It Saturday? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, because Friday was when we went for dinner, and then we just went back around like 10:30, 11.
Well, we went back to try and see if we could see the drone show, but we were on the wrong side of the convention center. I heard it was amazing. I don't know, but I heard it was good. And then Saturday was Spirit of Edmonton, which was awesome as always. Lots of fun, and they the cheerleaders lifted up Chris Morris, and they did their big show, which every year just blows my mind. At Spirit of Edmonton, so good. And so that was a ton of fun, and I paced myself so I wasn't like stumbling out. It was nice. Got to the CFL Fans Fight Cancer event, which was also really well done.
Yep.
And congratulations to Marcia and Brian on all their hard work.
My
and
God.
they raised, what was the final total?
72,000.
Yeah, like just
destroyed the old record. Yeah,
amazing.
And so congrats to them. It was a great event. Adam Goss doing the announcing, and
yes,
lots of fun and lots of visiting. And yes, then it was then that we decided we needed to maybe just have a little quiet time and sit in a hot tub because my knee was killing me. And who was there but the Grey Cup Fun Police? And it was a very, very fun conversation. And
it was.
And yes, we received call signs, so which I feel very honored to have.
As you should.
And so now we can, if we get two-way radios, we can communicate with them, which would be fun.
Yeah.
So that was a blast. And then out to the Montreal party, which I gotta say, the Alouettes party was really good.
Great music.
They had great music.
Music.
They were really looking to get people involved. So the Owls cheer team or dance team, was doing their routines, but then they were walking around and talking to people and trying to get them involved. And I just thought that was really, really nice. And they did have a separate part that was outside where you could actually have a conversation. So
crazy.
I was talking to Cliffy and I'm like, come with me. And we went out in the hallway and had a great conversation. And then I got to sit and have a really good conversation with Steve and Carrie Eder, who I had not seen in a long time. And amazing that they were there. So that was a really, really great chat. And another chat with Mr. Capper. So thought the L's room was great. And then was able to call it a night before I was too stumbly, which was great. And we were up and out to the FRC brunch on Sunday. And congrats to Farhan and to, oh my God, his name, Steve. Thank you.
Daniels.
Yep, Steve Daniels for getting into the Hall of Fame, and great conversation there. And then we went to the game, and the game was fun.
The game was fun.
Well, I mean, the first half was kind of meh.
Yeah.
If you like defense, the first half was
great.
I
do.
Yeah. I do. Yeah. I do not in a championship game, though. I like scores. Big scores. Give me some offense.
I just thought that it was very weird. It seemed like, especially Dinwiddie was very conservative. I mean, he had 3rd and goal from the 1 yard line and you kicked the field goal. I'm like, have that confidence in your offense, punch it in. If you miss, they got to go 109 yards to score on you. So,
yet they stopped him.
Yeah.
So that's what I said. Like defensively, I thought it was a good back and forth game. If they're going to score, I like it when both teams are scoring and it's kind of going back and forth. Like the fourth quarter got a little out of control. Yeah. So this was a question, and I need to take Paul Reckner's joke here, but you know, they've been to 5 straight Grey Cups. They won 2.
Mm-hmm.
So are they an almosty instead of a dynasty? Like, is it, I don't know what the saying is, but
I heard someone say an excellent team, not a dynastic team.
They belong in the Hall of Very Good.
Very, very good. Very
the
good.
Hall of Very Good.
Well done.
That's true.
If you talk to any NFL fan and ask them, do you think the Buffalo Bills were a dynasty in the 90s?
Correct.
They would laugh in your face.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo famously went to 4 consecutive Grey Cups. You know, the American Grey Cup. I can't drink out of this.
Secondary bowl. Yeah. Exactly.
And didn't win a single one. That does not make them a dynasty.
Correct.
Sorry to Milt Stegall, who is insisting that they are a dynasty, but you know.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Rough take.
Dynasty.
Well done, Cap.
Yeah,
no
I like
Cap.
That one too. I like that one. Yeah. More like dynasty.
That's like
that one's not bad either. Yeah.
A Key and Peele skit right there.
That's right. Yeah.
Dynasty.
Yeah, it's just they were very good.
Yes.
Obviously, I mean, they were excellent in 2019, 2021. And if there
Yes.
was a 2020 season, who knows? But there wasn't.
There wasn't.
So yeah, they were very good, but I don't think they qualify as a dynasty just because you lost 3 Grey Cups in a row.
Right. Yeah. I think they win one of any of those 3, and we're probably saying that it's
If they would have won last year, sure. 3 in
out of
4
4?
years. Yes.
yeah,
They were there,
absolutely.
but they didn't.
Well, if you look at it like just in general, like if you're a 500 team, you're classified as like a decent team, but they're not even a 500 team when it comes to playoffs because they haven't won.
Right.
Like percentage wise, 2 out of 5.
Yeah, I talked to Joe Pritchard at the meet and greet, I think on the Wednesday. And he said that's for people in the future to decide. He's not going to label it as a Bomber fan that he is. He's just going to enjoy it and say it was a really enjoyable time to be a Bomber fan. And I agree with that 100%. It's just people that are bandying about the term dynasty. To me, a dynasty, you've got to win 3 in a row, or at least 3 and 4, 4 and 6, something like that. That's a dynasty. They don't qualify, but they have been a very dominant team in the West.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah. And like Sergio too, man. Like, dang.
And
what
Ken's
a year for him. What a year for him.
Yeah. Argonauts are 2 and 3. So if they win the next year, then to me, that's a dynasty.
Yeah, absolutely.
They would have won 3 and 4. They're not going to, but if they did, they had their turn.
They did. We didn't actually mention the Argos do win 41 to 24. And I was very happy for all of the former Elks, Serezna, Robert Priester, D-Max, Nick Arbuckle,
Tavares Daniels.
Yep. Well, yeah, for one reason, I guess. Yeah, but
once always, baby.
Yeah. Arbuckle, though, man, couldn't happen to a nicer dude. Like
100%.
He is a really, really good guy, and that was pretty emotional at the end for him, and I thought that was just awesome.
Yeah, I mean, people, when he was here, nobody questioned what a great guy he was. It just felt like sometimes he may not have been the best fit for the team we had. And then again, I don't know anyone outside of Trey Ford had much success with the team that was here over those years.
Fair.
So, I mean, it's pretty tough for any quarterback to come in to the team we've had over the last few years and really dominate. So I was cheering for him. I was cheering for the people you mentioned, just because he is a really great guy, and seeing him be able to have that success after all he's been through. Yeah, I think that's great. And nobody was mad at him for that.
No, definitely not. We won't talk about the parade because.
Oh, but we sorry, just to go back to like Bomber, speaking of Bomber fans, shout out to Tony from the US of A and a friend of the pod. Thank you so much for saying something at Pizza. I really appreciated that. We lifted each other's spirits. It was a great time. So shout out to you, Tony. That was fun. Hopefully we can see you next Grey Cup. Yeah,
he was messaging me, and we just never found a way to kind of be in the same place at the same time. So that was. And
as fate would have it, I was actually walking to the Subway that we went to, and I saw the Pizza on the corner. I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get a slice of pizza, maybe 2." And I did, and then I hear this Kayla, and I'm like, "Yes." It was so great.
Lord?
It was so great. Yes. New nickname for Tony.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Tony Lord.
Tony Lord.
Oh, we know the reason that Toronto won now.
Oh. I gave Jake cupcakes on Friday night. It helped him win on Sunday. Well, if there's one thing that Janelle's cupcakes do, it helps us win at whatever we're doing.
Many things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Even if we don't, we just get so mesmerized.
We win.
I won anyway.
Still won. Exactly.
Hashtag winning.
Nice. Hashtag winning. Well done. All right. Anything else you want to add in from your Grey Cup experience?
Again, it has been a while since I've been to a Grey Cup. So it was great to get back to it again. And I mean, I haven't been to Vancouver in many years since moving back to Edmonton. In fact, this is the first time I think I've been to Vancouver since moving back to Edmonton. So just great to see. I love the West Coast. It'll always be a special time in my life. So yeah, thanks to Vancouver for hosting a fantastic time.
Yes, it was a very good time.
I got some pretty cool trading cards. 1992 All-World CFL trading cards.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So we'll just show the relevant ones because OBS.
Because pardon?
No, because OBS, not pardon.
Yes.
Yes.
Warren.
I know that one. Warren Moon. Yes.
Now this one's not so nice, but
Mike can name everyone else in that picture. Yeah. Well,
not so nice. Not
poor
so
Tracy
nice.
Ham.
Yeah. But then I'm very sad because this one was stuck to the package, so it actually got caught and lost some of its integrity. But isn't that a beauty?
It's kind of cool that way, actually.
That is kind of wild.
You think so?
Makes it look retro.
Yeah.
It's true.
And then,
Very
of course,
cool.
like
nothing like an E
one.
helmet.
That's a beauty. I don't have
That is a
here.
beauty. That is a beauty. Well, while we're showing things off, Mike, you ready to do some hoard and tell?
Sure.
All right.
Line it up.
Here we go.
It's time for hoard and tell.
Oh, love it.
Secret was revealed while I was in Vancouver that is Tyler singing that song.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Maybe he should be singing all the sheet music.
Right? And and then he just auto-tuned the hell out of it. That was pretty good. I love it.
Oh, God, I
amazing.
love auto-tune.
I love the harmony. It's amazing.
Yes, it's beautiful.
It's amazing.
Just a reminder, of course, that coming up, we do have the locker room sale. Here's a lovely example of a locker room sale from a few years ago.
Wow.
Can you remember who that is?
Is that John Avery?
That is John Avery.
Oh,
yes.
Done.
Well done. One and done, 2002, John Avery.
It is that.
It's been a while since I've done a hoard. So I've got a few things that have been kind of piling up, and I thought I would just kind of sort through some of the fun ones I've gotten the last little bit. You mentioned trading cards. New set of 2024 Upper Deck is out. Oh, yeah. What am I thinking? There we go.
Shame.
There we go.
Not what I was supposed to do. Yeah.
One of the things I love is there's a lovely tray for it. And it's actually Trey.
It's actually Trey Ford this time.
Exactly.
Neat.
And what's kind of cool,
like last Sunday, Trey Ford won the cup, according
exactly,
to
it was other Trey Ford versus Terrell Ford. Yeah, so that's a great one. But back in the day, they used to have cards that were slightly larger, like about that size. So
fancy.
There's a Mike Riley signed card. Now, these are the kind of cards that are blank on the back. These are the kind of cards that they would give out at the the CFLPA. Yes. So they actually handed out several ones there. I wasn't there for that. Thankfully, a good friend has picked me up the Scott Hutter card from that, so I'll be getting that pretty soon.
Oh, do you want to see it? I can show it to you.
Oh, yeah, show it. Show what the Scott Hutter looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got something on the back too. Fancy.
Oh, I really lost everything doing that. That's pretty good.
Nice.
All right, there's the Scott Hutter.
Oh.
Right.
Very nice. It's practically like Kayla's.
Right? I know.
Well, exactly. The bottom's the same.
Bottom's the same. And there's the Luches.
Oh, there was two.
Yeah, I got a blue cheese one too.
Oh, I got to see about getting those too. I'll find out.
There you go. Those are the same.
Nice.
I didn't even realize they were doing that.
Either did I, or else I would have had them in here too.
Oh, yeah.
And now we know the rest of the story.
Now we know. Yeah.
I picked this up at the last game, actually, and I think everyone should get something like this. It's a beautiful thing. I think they should just give it to season ticket holders. What do you think?
Okay, I like
a
this.
Lovely t-shirt.
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh, that's
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Me rolling. You know, I was tempted. I was surprised at how much they were charging.
Well, it was like a 40% off, so that's why I got it. So
Oh, did they? Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
I mean, right
Oh,
now
I
it's
will-
30% off, so you can order one.
Okay, I better go pick one up then because
There you
that's
go.
friggin' hilarious. Yeah.
Isn't it awesome?
Yeah.
And then I think you know something about these as well. Picked up
Ah, yes.
for the Indigenous game for the warm-ups. They wore orange jerseys. I got the Josiah Shackle. Good
Nice.
local play
Mm-hmm.
to go along with the collection
I
there.
can tag team that one too.
Tag it up. There it is. Zachary.
One Zachary Mathis. Yes.
That is a beautiful orange jersey.
Isn't it? Yeah. Same color as my car. It's orange.
Yeah. And a big fan. 2019 does say it was 40% off of the last home game. That's when he bought his t-shirt.
Oh, okay. Okay, perfect.
From a friend of mine, Chris in Winnipeg. I love collecting things that have data on it. So I got the entire, and it's an important season, the 1969 season statistics, week by week, every week. It's a different stats page.
What?
With all the stats.
Wow.
Every week. And 1969 was a fine year.
Up top, my brother.
55 years ago today. But my absolute favorite thing.
Somebody in the chat has to have put nice, right? Like somebody did. Yeah.
I figure it's got to be. But my absolute favorite thing, and these are things that do not come up very often. It's a lovely binder. Oh, there's Jay Parker on it, and you can't really tell underneath that sticker. It says 1982.
Oh,
and this is James Quick Parker's defensive playbook and special teams playbook.
Shut up! What? How did you get that?
Sometimes you just got to be lucky.
Oh, that is so cool.
So not only this would be Quick Parker's, that means it's a Don Matthews playbook.
Yes.
Defensive coordinator. And again, these do not come up very often. It is all Greek to me. I don't know what any of it means, but yeah, this has got a special place in the collection here. So I've been pouring through this left and right. And again, I have understand none of it. Maybe Jed can explain it to me one day.
Oh man, that is
cool.
So cool.
Yes.
Wow.
It is not. No, Janice, the house is not 4,000 square feet.
No,
it's probably closer to about 700 or 800 square feet down here. So it'd be nice, but no, there's what you see behind me. This is the majority of it. That's about a half of it right there.
Yeah, man, that is so cool. I have never seen one of those before. So
it's true.
Ben didn't need that kidney anyways.
Kidney, liver, half my liver,
kidney,
one lung. It's all gone.
Fine. Yeah, whatever. It got you what you needed.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it comes down to.
I'll have this, but I can get along with one lung. I'll just grow gills like a fish. It'll be great.
You know a guy that can help you. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh my. Well, that was very fun. I tell you, that's pretty cool.
And next time you sing, so that'll be great.
Next time I sing. Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
It'll be great.
Excited. Yeah.
Nope.
All right. Well, here we go. This is gonna cause some discussion, I'm sure, in the chats that will end up with us as well. And that is who's next? Who is next for Ed Hervey to bring in? No. Trust me, I would love to be part of the team. Ed, if you're watching this, I would be happy to hand in my resume for anything that you think I'm totally not qualified for, and end up putting me in the person that just shoots the jug machine. I'm fine with that. Yeah. I'm fine. Just give me a jersey that says Jugsman on the back. I'm perfect. Perfect.
We can get you one of those.
You okay, Kayla?
Yep.
Okay.
2 Gs.
That's right. 2 Gs. That's right. And it's no, but who is next? I mean, who is the next head coach? Who are the coordinators? And obviously the coordinators are going to be hired by the head coach. We know that. Lots of rumors and things swirling around. Anywhere from it sounds like Jarius is not going to be given the opportunity. I'm not sure.
Ask if he was even going to be able to interview for that position.
I'd heard that he was going to at least have a chance, but
have an interview, but Yeah, I don't know. Just the way that Ed was talking,
Mm,
the
mhm.
part that I just kept kind of hearing was the people that know this tradition, that have experience, that know, like, and it was all those things. So I'm thinking that we know that Rick Campbell just became available out of BC. Yeah, Blake telling us have fun with Campbell. I don't know. What do you think? Is that where they head, or what do you think, Superfan?
I think it's a possibility that Rick
Mhm.
Campbell could be back for his, what is this, third time
I
coaching on the
Here?
sidelines.
think
Yeah,
so, because he was
not as a
special
head
team.
coach, but he was
Yeah.
special teams. He was a special team coordinator. He was a defensive coordinator. He was here 99 to 2006, 2007,
Yeah, somewhere in
and then
there.
here again in 2011 under that year of Cavis in that first year.
Mhm.
I don't know, and the reason I don't know is because who can honestly say they expected Chris Morris to be the president here? We had a lot of guesses on who was going to be our next president. Nobody would have predicted it was Chris Morris. So there could be somebody right out of left field that we
Mhm.
have not considered that's going to be our next head coach.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
If you want someone that knows the way, if you want someone that's had head coaching experience as well as CFL coaching experience, and someone who can come over and sign that locker, AJ would be an excellent choice.
That's right. I got. I would not be sad. I know. No one is surprised by that. But
Yeah.
No.
so have you heard other candidates though, Superfan?
Yeah, I mean, we've heard Jordan Maximic.
Mhm.
They asked to speak to him already. I'd heard Mark Mueller,
Okay.
offensive coordinator, who actually did have a training camp here as well several
Mhm.
years ago with the Canadian quarterback development program.
Yes.
The grandson of Ron Lancaster, another former head coach here,
Mhm.
which I think is kind of interesting. I've heard rumors of Buck Pierce might get an interview.
Mhm.
Those are the names I've heard so far. I mean, again, there might be others, right?
The one that I'm surprised I haven't heard that is like, okay, he's getting an interview, is Mark Killam.
Yeah.
Only because he has the attachment of being with the Bears before,
And that's what I'd heard for him is there's a rumor he might be the new head coach of the U of A Golden Bears because they need a head coach.
Mhm.
which,
Mhm.
yeah, that would also make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're going to need a defensive coordinator too, though, when AJ Gas comes to play.
That's true.
To coach on our team.
Well, Brent Porty could get bumped up. He's the
I mean,
defensive line coach.
that's fair.
There
Absolutely.
we
Yeah.
go. Unless he's
Yeah.
coming here, who knows?
I mean, it could be. You never know. Never know these things. Okay, Kayla, how do you feel about Rick Campbell or any of the ones that were mentioned?
I mean, it's really hard to have it. I don't know. It's just really hard to have an opinion when you just like everything is moving pieces for me. Like I mean, Rick Campbell at least has won a Grey Cup, so there's
Yeah.
something there with the Red Blacks. I mean that's always positive, right? As a head coach, so I just like I'm sorry, just like Mark Killam just annoys me. Really does. If he,
Even that dreamy
it-
hair.
It just is so annoying. I keep harping back on that, but all I see is, and he deserves a job, obviously. Like, good for him for doing what he does. But I mean, I don't really have an opinion because honestly, coaching is not my forte whatsoever. The only thing I will say is I really hope that Shivers gets a fair shot at staying in his position. Personally, I want him to stay. I understand if
Okay.
they want to uproot everything and start fresh with the head coaches under whomever. But yeah, I mean, what else can you say? It is what it is.
So why would you think you'd want Shivers back for a year?
Why do I? I
Mhm.
think he just instills the place where they want to go, which is like that bone dynasty again of having like the defensive players um being I guess the nasty again. So that and just my interactions with him, it's purely on a personal level too, have always been really positive. So, and I think there were some sparks of absolute excellence with some of his players too, and the growth that they had. So I'd want to give him another shot. But I said that about J-Jack too.
Yeah. My thing with Shivers is we were dead last in defense. We were number 2 in offense. And that's not why we didn't make the playoffs. It was the defense.
That's fair. That's fair.
And then again, it's not like you said, like there was a lot of growth over that season. And when we had 5 games of Chris Jones. And
yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of people forget that our field side corner and field side half were rookies. So the entire half of the secondary on the field side was all a rookie. This coming year, they're going to be second-year guys. They're veterans now, I guess, technically.
Yeah.
And they're going to take a lot of that stuff. And we had a lot of good things to say about Cordell Jackson and Devondre Bynum.
Yeah.
Right. So,
and maybe that's why, right? Because you have like that very junior-esque roles back there that you did see that growth. And maybe that's what I'm blinded by. It's not so much as a whole, but I saw the glimpses of excellence that came out. I mean, you look at Nick Anderson, just in that respect too, right? So it's maybe those specific players and how they worked with Shivers.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't give you a solid answer, and maybe it doesn't really make sense, but I always believe in second chances. And because this was his first year back with the Elks, I'd like to see some stability, at least if we're going to get the majority of the players back on the defensive side. It might be a good idea to have some of that stability on one side of it and then grow from there. But I mean, what do I know? I'm not a coach. I've never coached. I don't know jack shit. So,
I think ultimately working in Shivers' favor is he has another year under contract. So,
what are contracts these days, though?
It's something that's an albatross around our neck the last several years if we cut a guy.
Very true.
Then again, Rick Campbell is still under contract to BC, so he can always volunteer for a year here in Edmonton, much like Chris Jones did last year in Hamilton.
Bitter about that or something.
I just think it's absolutely ridiculous that that's allowed, but
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that maybe if we did it, maybe maybe the league would pay attention and say, hey, can't do that anymore.
Yeah, probably. They found the loophole. It worked. So
yeah, they need to close it.
Yep, I agree. I don't get me wrong. When I said I don't know that Jarius has a chance. He'll interview. I hope I would love Jarius to stay. I like Jarius.
In some form.
He was growing as a head coach.
Yeah.
I like all of that. So
we know he wants to be.
Yeah. So that would be great. And I hope that I hope there is a consideration there for sure. I keep hearing a lot of Rick Campbell and then possibly Mark Killam coming in as the special teams coordinator and assistant head coach. I don't know if that's what he would want after doing that for so many years, but the one thing that on socials will tell you is that there are players that would think that's a great idea and they want to be here for Killam. So
I've heard Campbell, Killam, and Maximic all here.
Okay. And that would, okay. Can't say I'd be upset about that.
Other
than poor Kayla suffering every time the hair flows.
Oh my gosh, just like just from behind. It's like, oh yeah, I did hear that too.
Well, JC Sherritt right now is the DC, I believe, or is he a linebackers coach, or is he? I thought he was a DC. I
think he might be the DC.
So, if they go with bringing some of the guys back, I'm not going to be upset, right?
I'm really hoping for someone from left field again. That's fun. We're just like,
it is fun when somebody just comes and you're like, wow, didn't think they'd get that guy.
Of course, unless he's garbage, then
right. Lots of chatter on this, as you expect.
Okay, yeah. That's what I figured. So hit us with it.
Yeah. Janice says, I'm surprised Mark Mueller is getting interviews for head coach after being offensive coordinator for only one season. Ironically, the coach who won the Grey Cup last year was a head coach in Edmonton after only 1 year as an offensive coordinator in Jason Moss. So that's certainly possible.
Yeah, well, I think the other part too is that you look at Ryan Dinwiddie that skipped the offensive coordinator position completely,
Entirely, yeah.
went from quarterbacks coach to head coach, and now has 2 Grey Cups to his name. So,
Yep.
And I think Mueller did more in that Calgary offense than he's really given credit for, even though he was wasn't he the
Quarterbacks coach or running backs coach?
Before, but I think he did do a lot in that offense as well. So I think that's probably why it leads to that, or it leads to that thought anyway. Yeah.
Janice also suggests, Matt Dunnigan for
wrong pass. No,
Leanne thought that was a great idea.
Well, that's because she would always take what was it again? Dunnigan's cock over milk.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
Isn't that what it
I
was?
forgot about that.
That's right. Yeah. So yes, I'll pass. I like Dunnigan, but I like him as a color guy.
Can't see him as a coach.
He can get all those players to get on that horse. It'll be great.
Great. That was a good impression. That was good.
There we go.
There you go. Cock over milk any day. There you go. Well done.
Oh, Leanne.
Even chocolate milk.
Oh,
you guys see inside of his tux that he was wearing? Milk. No?
Milt inside of his tux?
He had a specially made for chocolate milk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or something. Yeah.
Oh my. Oh, the panel.
The panel.
Yes.
And one more from our friend Janice. Edmonton is going to be a threat in 2025. We certainly hope so.
Didn't we kind of say that this year, though?
We did kind of say that this year. Lots of people said that for this year.
Probably the year before, and 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 the year before.
One can hope.
The one that really that still sticks out to me though was 2019 when
we had Trevor,
and isn't that when we also had the receiving core was just stupid. Ellington and or was that 21 or was that 19? I think it was 19.
Yeah, because it was 19 because we actually were able to sit and talk with Ellington at the fan day.
Yes.
Without having to be 6 feet apart.
That's fair. Yeah. And so I just that one was like, oh well, they're totally gonna take it. They're gonna be everything, and then dun 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 dun. Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Janice, and it was also lovely to see you and have all the fun with you.
See you and Amy, and
absolutely. But I'm cautiously optimistic. We'll see what happens when we get to training camp and I see guys on the field.
And let's see who the coaches. Let's see who the assistants are, and let's see what players are coming back and which ones are going to resign. Because speaking of receiving core, was Gino alluding to a change for him with VA in Calgary?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a possibility we see a Calgary team with Reggie Bagleton and Gino Lewis on it, with VA slinging the ball?
Oh,
I would not be.
That doesn't make me happy.
No, it doesn't make me happy either. No, they were supposed to suck for a few years to make up for all the years that we were bad.
No, I mean, Gino was on our team. We still suck, so.
Fair.
Yeah, we didn't have VA.
Correct. Yeah.
But
that won't fix their defense. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Again, we had the worst defense, but the second worst was Calgary.
Right.
And they were nowhere near the top 5 for offense. So,
There you go. So that's good. Okay. They can keep doing that. I'm not sure about Gino. I think it's really gonna make a difference when Ed starts talking to guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
And where he places that value. I think that's going to be a huge difference because I can see Ed saying, well, we need to, jack up the defensive line, and that means there's not as many dollars available for some of these other people, right?
True.
So Tim Capper saying, I'm wondering if the Owls are also in play for Gino. He's heard things. So
Could be, but I would be very shocked if he went back to the L's, given the conversation I had with him.
Yeah, especially when you start the reason he talked about, he felt he was disrespected there
Yeah.
when he left.
Yeah.
And since not a lot has changed in the people
Yeah.
that are there, that he felt disrespected him.
yes.
I'd be
Yeah.
very, very
But
surprised.
time heals.
Yeah. And I mean, he still lives there in the off season, I think. So, so there's always possibility, but I mean, I would be happy if 87 stayed here.
Yep.
But,
Yeah.
But
can we afford him?
exactly.
Well, again, I mean, it's going to
depending on where
depend,
you put
right?
money.
If we get rid of another big spender, we might be able to.
Which big spender are you talking about?
Gee, one that didn't deserve the paycheck, in my humble opinion.
Is that a kicker?
Yeah, one with 1.5 legs.
You don't say. Okay. Okay, so Daryl saying, I'm okay if Gino goes, stop paying max money to one of the deepest positions to find new players. Okay. I think that, I mean, Gino is special for sure.
Yep.
Right.
Gino does something that nobody else on the team does.
Correct. So I think Gino is worth money, like a good payday. Do I think it's 300 payday? I don't know that I would go that far, but I do think he is definitely the highest on the team.
Yeah.
You know,
He was our MOP candidate. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He is special. And if he has that connection with somebody, boy, oh boy, watch out.
Look out. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that's why Calgary would look awfully good, because he already has that connection with VA.
Yes. Yeah.
Gino is more than worth what he's paid. However, if we have a salary management system, can't call it a cap. So if you are paying him that kind of money, the money has to come from somewhere. So I'm kind of two minds. One is, again, we have a general manager now that is outstanding at finding receivers that outperform their contract.
Yes.
So you can either say we can field a bunch of those kind of players with some good, even excellent receivers that have experience and don't necessarily need it. Or you could say we can afford a Gino Lewis at that kind of salary because we're going to have other players that are, that league minimum also filling in, who are as good as some of the guys we have right now. Right.
Well, yeah. You look at Zach.
He's really come on.
He's really come on. He's going to be on a rookie contract still. And that kid got wingspan. So you can't what did you say? You can't teach height. So
100%. You can't coach height.
Yeah. So it should be interesting.
Yeah.
Very true.
Ken's got a good point. With the wholesale change in coaching here in Edmonton, I wonder how many of our starters won't be here next season. That's not one I wanted to highlight, but there's one anyway.
That's okay. It does play a role for sure.
But it happens every year, right? There's always some players that are not there next year.
Yeah. Even not even the wholesale coaching change, even just the GM change.
Yep.
Right. There's different GMs have different philosophies.
And with 1 and 2 year contracts, it's very easy to rotate through those players. But Chris Morris said at the very beginning,
rotating door is closed.
Right.
Yeah.
So we will see. They've got to find a team that's going to fit with them and not have, 180 players get through the roster. What I wanted to say, how does Calgary afford both Adams and Gino and have much left for other things? Come on now. You learn nothing from BC. It's all marketing money.
That's right.
Come on now.
That's how you do it. Yep.
Right. So that's easy to do. I mean, now granted, they're owned by a company that isn't necessarily throwing money at them to go over that cap.
Yep.
So we'll see how that goes. And Hugo does have a good point. We can't talk cap. We're Canadian. It's not a cap. It's a salary too.
That's cute.
So there you go.
We should call it that from now on. A salary too. Yeah.
Exactly. And it is, even regardless of the nomenclature, it is not a cap because you can go over versus in the NHL, you cannot go over. It is a salary man. It's a luxury tax. Let's be honest.
That's really what it is. Yes.
Yeah. If you're willing to pay, I'm hearing rumors that BC went way over. And
Okay.
after signing guys like Matthew Betts and Curtis Rourke, if only Nathan Rourke, getting ahead of myself by a year.
Not after this past weekend, but okay. Yeah.
So we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah. And they already had VA. They already had money locked up in guys like Hatcher and
who I would say underperformed the contract he got.
Yeah,
I mean,
would agree.
A lot of those guys were injured, but I mean, outside of Hollins, name a really outstanding receiver on that BC Lions team this year.
The Canadian kid.
Yeah.
What's his name?
McInnes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say he probably outplayed his contract that he got in BC.
Yeah.
But he did really.
Yeah, he helped my fantasy.
Hollins was only good for like 7 games and then disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Hollins was good to start, but in the second half of the season,
just was gone.
Disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was thinking McInnes. But I mean, outside of that.
Yep. Yeah, it's very true.
It just was not a solid year for that.
Which is crazy because they have Couture, they have Hatcher as well.
Couture, when he was playing, still played well, I thought, but he was.
But not as like, he was great.
Injured
he was
a lot. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Even Will Stanback, like he had shining moments, but he didn't look like the Will Stanback that I know and love.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Anything else in the chats there?
Yeah, lots of chats about head coaches. An interesting one from Big Fan 2019. Could the Elks get Mike O'Shea? No, I think he's still under contract with Winnipeg. And even still, he did get them to the Grey Cup the last 5 years. I just don't see him disappearing there. So we're looking at sort of realistic options. I just don't think that's realistic. Ken says, with all of the talk about Killam being the heir apparent to Dickinson, seems to be a caps lock error there. I just wonder what is going on in Calgary. It almost feels like he threw his assistants under the bus. Well, Killam is a special teams guy. He's been with them special teams for years. And his brother needs a job. His brother's a special teams guy too. And
correct.
Let's get Craig a job. That's my guess.
And I feel like as soon as the president gave Dave the GM and head coach position, well, somebody's got to take the fall.
Yep. Unfortunately, I don't think it was special teams was the issue in Calgary.
No, but Brett Monson was gone too, right? So,
and he's interviewing for the Toronto position.
I know.
DC.
I know.
I'm like, what's happening to Ivan and what's happening to Will Fields?
Yeah, I don't know.
They were co-defensive coordinators last year.
And they did a pretty darn good
won the Grey
job.
Cup.
Yeah.
So,
interesting.
Who knows?
Yep. Who knows? Yeah. It's all fun and games in the CFL.
Let's just end it off on this one here. It's good to have people who know the EE way, but is the nostalgia enough to pull us through to the future? That's going to be a tough balancing act.
That's a good point, Leanne. The only thing that I'll say with that is that Chris isn't picking guys just for nostalgia. He's picking guys that have been in the game and had some success. You look at Ed Hervey. He's had that success since he left here. Not oodles, but he knows what he's doing. Depending on who they bring in at head coach and all the coordinator positions, right? I understand. I keep plugging for AJ Gass, but the thing is AJ, like you said, Mike, he's had head coaching experience in the States. He's had some CFL coaching experience. He's had now university coaching experience. So
he's a head coach at university. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that he's like Chris is picking guys just because they played here and know the EE way. I think he's finding guys that know both. They can do that, but they're also smart football guys.
Yeah, no question. It has to fit his vision, but it has to be someone he thinks we can win with. Because if we don't want to have this rotating, we've got a new coach every couple of years, or we've got new players every couple of years, you've got to make the right pick now.
Absolutely. So, And going back to Ed's press conference, because we didn't say this at the beginning, but like he said, when I look at this team, I look at it's a laughing stock, and I want to fix that. And wow, I was like, as a fan, I'm like, yep,
It hurts.
it does, but it's not wrong.
I don't like the term laughing stock. I think that we had lost our way in many ways from when we were at the top and we were just always finding it. But I think saying that these players didn't try, they tried their asses off.
Oh, but that's the thing.
And we had a lot of highlights. Yeah. Again, we were number 2 in total offense. We were number 1 in rushing.
Yeah.
Over this last year. It's just there are some tweaks. We are not far away. We lost how many games by 7 points or less?
Yeah.
In this last year. We have a lot of stuff to do, and it's things like having 160 players wear a green and gold jersey in a single season. Stuff like that is what needs to stop. And I think that's probably what he was referring to.
Correct.
More than the results on the field or the players we had. So,
yeah, and he didn't actually say that we were. He said it felt like.
Right.
It's a big difference.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, it felt like. And he wants to make it better, which is what he said to us. Well, not exactly that, but that's what he said to us when we saw him at the Hamilton game, when he said this, just watching that really hurts.
Mm-hmm.
And he would like it to be better. And now he's in control to make it better. So go, Ed, go. All right. Well, that was a lively chat there this evening.
Oh, there's a lot more. Yeah.
Oh, I can imagine.
One thing I think we definitely need to talk about.
Oh, yes.
Big congrats to Dwayne Mandrusiak for his induction into the Alberta Sports Hall of Fame. He's going in with George Hopkins, which just seems fitting. And another person that doesn't get mentioned a lot is Diane Greeno, who was the leader, the coach of the cheer team for so many years, for decades, both going into the Alberta Sports Hall of Fame. And I can't think of two better people to represent this team and the city.
Absolutely. Congratulations to all of them. And of course, to Pops. I'm excited for him to get him getting those accolades that he so well deserves.
You are certainly more excited than he will be.
Yeah. Probably, because that's just how he is. Yeah.
Not his thing.
Nope. Quick thing that I don't think we mentioned during the rest of the season was so Kayla won Pick'ems this year.
Shocker!
Well done, Commissioner K. Excited to get that started up again next year, where we keep track throughout the season and have a little bit of fun with that. So, well
done. I get a crown?
She can what? You get a tiara.
Yeah.
Screw that. I want a crown.
Well, that's all we can afford. We're on a budget, you know.
I mean, what kind of budget? Like a CFL?
Like it's pipe cleaners.
Budget,
no, it's going to look like this, and it's going to say commissioner on it right there.
No, I said crown.
Like I said, it's going to be pipe cleaners mostly.
That is a crown right there. Let me tell you.
It is certainly something.
Crown of jokers. Yeah.
That's right. Then you'd have one for when we do Hoard and Tell.
Nah, I'm good. Oh, see?
Queen Commish from Tim Capper. That's right. Nice wave. Dean would be proud. Yeah. Ooh, Lori's going to bring you a crown, Kayla.
Thanks, Lori.
I wonder if it'll be a crown royal. Yeah.
Hey, I think of that too.
Janelle, Sean can print you a crown. Oh, Saturday just got a lot more fun. Yeah. Should be interesting. Yeah.
Yes.
I can't wait till I win next year, and then I get to take the crown from you. Put it on.
She's just going to ride in the gap. Let's be honest.
That's yeah. No glitter, Sean. No glitter. Yeah.
Extra glitter. What? Maybe a little special compartment that just pops open at the wrong time.
Oh wait, hang on. Speaking of glitter, one of our glitter gorgeousness. Can I just show this off?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Dead sexy.
That is lovely.
There's a little bit of glitter in this, but you can't see. It's sparkly.
Yeah.
Thanks, Leanne.
That's awesome.
That's pretty.
I have one right here that I need to hang up. Yes, I'm excited.
Oh, and I still have to get my whiskey, so that will be next weekend.
Which one?
The Wildlife Distillery, the Sherry
Oh,
Casket single. Is it a single whiskey?
fancy.
Mhm.
All
I
right.
know.
It's going to be very exciting. All right. Well, we have reached the end. Again,
Oh,
another.
actually, I don't want to
Oh,
speculate. Sorry. I don't want to speculate too much, but, Trey Ford did like post a photo of himself still in like Elks gear on his
Oh,
Instagram. So I don't know if he'd really be promoting himself if he wanted to leave. So it's a little speculation for you to close the night.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
like that. Like that. That is a great way to finish the 10th season
Yes.
Wild.
of.
10th season for us and 75th for the team.
That's right. 10th season is in the books as far as the Turf District podcast is concerned.
That's crazy.
Right? I know. Like, we spent a lot of time sitting in a basement chatting about our football
With
team.
no windows.
Correct. Yeah, I don't know what you're
Mhm.
talking about. I have 2 windows in here.
Now I know.
Yeah.
See how far you've come?
I know.
Windows.
Till next year, I'm going to reverse everything in here. It's going to be so cool. Yeah.
Can't wait to see
Yeah.
that light all lit up.
Right?
Yeah, that's gonna look great.
Excellent.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's pretty
absolutely.
Oh, you didn't see this, super
sexy.
fan.
No.
Okay, well, let me show you the fun trick.
Yeah,
then.
you must see it.
Plug it in, plug it in.
Correct. All right. You all set?
I am ready. You gave me the whole seat. I just needed the edge.
Correct.
Ooh, look at that.
Ooh.
So nice.
Fancy.
TTD.
All lights up. Yay.
That's
Ooh, 3D.
3D House of the Turf District.
Yeah. Anyway,
That's amazing.
that will be up in the new setup for the new year. So look forward to that. So, oh, I am fancy. Yeah.
You fancy.
So thank you to everybody who has joined us throughout the season. We will be back to kick off season 11 in January. We usually take the December off to get a bit of a break and recollect our thoughts and start to get excited about the new season. So I'm sure we'll have lots to talk about when we get together in
That's
January. But for now, where does everybody find us? Starting with you, Commissioner Kayla.
Generally at Duchess Lombardi on Twitter. But yeah, it is the season where one must rest. Although this off season has already been pretty crazy, so I might be like poking around a little bit on the twits. But
All right.
yes,
Getting cray on the twits. All
Are
right.
you gonna?
Cray.
Oh my god!
cray.
Are you gonna join the Blue Sky?
Oh, I don't friggin' know, man.
It's
Twitter's
so
hard
much.
enough.
It's nicer.
Ah,
More people go in there.
It's like Blue Sky.
I'm trying to take a break from the social medias.
Yeah, Kayla for Blue Sky. There you go. From
Where's my
Tim.
crown? You give me a crown, we'll talk.
And again, could be royal.
It could be.
As long as it's the peach one.
Oh, the peach one. I see. Okay. Super fan. Where does everybody find you?
You can find me on pretty much all the socials at 56 Parkies and the Edmonton history segment at EDMHISTOREE.
Wonderful. And you will find the show at the Turf District, except of course on Blue Sky where it's Turf District Pod. But
Of course.
it is. So, which is probably where we'll do a lot more of our chatting of football now is over on Blue Sky. But so join us there, give us a follow. You can find me at Freepalicious on Twitter, and I have not created that on Blue Sky as of yet. So mostly will just be Turf District Pod. So, but join there, join us on Twitch and YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, leave a comment, all those things try to help grow the show, and we really appreciate it. So, of course, check out our friends at Pay It Forward with Football as they continue to spread the good word of football and the good word of kindness, which is what we need in this world. So, we will be back in January. We will give lots of warning before we hit the stage once again. As we finish another season, thank you to both of you for all of the dedicated work throughout the year and the friendship and the fun that we've been able to have recording season 10. I really appreciate it. So
Thank you for creating this wonderful platform.
Oh, hey, gives us all a chance to hang out. That's what
That's true.
really the best part.
It's
Yeah.
all about the hang.
Have drinks, talk football.
Drinks.
Can't ask for anything more. Exactly. All right. So, thank you, everybody. We will see you in January for Commissioner Kayla and Superfan Mike. I'm Andrew. Remember, you can't catch footballs with your face, and we will absolutely talk to you in January.
Merry Christmas.